Most people grow up accepting what the world teaches them without question. They follow the rules, chase approval, and measure success by how others react to them. Society builds a pattern: go to school, get a job, make friends, fit in, and seek validation through recognition. And for most people, this system works because it gives them a sense of safety and belonging. But Sigma males don't follow those unspoken rules. They see through them. They observe how people live, what they chase, and why they believe what they do. And then they ask the questions no one else wants to ask. While the world moves in one direction, the Sigma male walks his own path, not out of rebellion, but out of clarity. He doesn't blindly accept what others tell him about success, happiness, or identity. Instead, he tests everything through experience. If something feels false, he discards it. If it feels true, he lives by it, even if it means standing alone. That's why Sigma males often seem detached or different. They're not trying to be mysterious, they're just immune to illusion. This independence makes them both misunderstood and respected. They live without the constant need for social confirmation, yet their lives often appear more authentic and meaningful. The Sigma male doesn't fight the system directly. He simply refuses to be controlled by it. And that quiet refusal separates him from the crowd more than any loud act of rebellion ever could. In this video, we'll explore 6 things that most people believe without question, 6 ideas society teaches as truth that the Sigma male quietly rejects. These beliefs shape how most people live, but to the Sigma, they are nothing more than comfortable lies. Thing number 1. Belief that popularity equals success. Most people believe that being liked means they're doing well. They measure success by how many people approve of them, how often they're noticed, or how loud their presence is. It's the modern illusion that attention equals importance. But the Sigma male knows better. He understands that popularity doesn't measure value, it measures visibility. And visibility can easily be manufactured. The Sigma doesn't chase crowds or status because he knows that most of what society rewards is noise, not substance. He's not interested in being known by everyone. He's interested in being respected by the few who matter. In workplaces, social circles, or online platforms, people compete for attention, mistaking it for validation. They adapt their opinions, personalities, and even morals to gain approval. But the Sigma sees this as weakness. To him, true success is measured by control, the ability to shape your own life without losing yourself. He's not antisocial or arrogant. He simply knows that chasing popularity means surrendering freedom. The moment your value depends on other people's attention, you've already lost independence. That's why he often stays quiet when others seek recognition. He doesn't need applause to confirm what he already knows about himself. Ironically, this rejection of popularity often makes him more respected. People notice that he doesn't try to impress anyone, and that confidence becomes magnetic. He stands out precisely because he doesn't try to stand out. The Sigma male's version of success isn't measured in numbers or followers. It's measured in peace, the kind of peace that comes when you stop needing to be seen and start focusing on being real. That's why he can walk into a room unnoticed and still command attention without saying a word. While others seek fame, the Sigma male seeks mastery. He knows that popularity fades, but skill, integrity, and purpose don't. That's why he builds a life that doesn't require applause to mean something. Thing number 2. Belief that constant social connection is necessary for fulfillment. The second blind belief the Sigma male rejects is the idea that you must always be surrounded by people to be happy. Society glorifies socialization, parties, constant communication, group validation. The message is clear: being alone means something is wrong with you. But the Sigma male knows that solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom. He understands that constant connection often leads to emotional clutter. Most people can't handle silence, so they fill it with meaningless interaction, small talk, social media, and endless contact. They fear being alone because they fear facing themselves. The Sigma, on the other hand, finds strength in that silence. When he's alone, he isn't escaping people, he's recharging. He uses solitude to reflect, create, and understand himself better. This makes him more grounded and emotionally balanced than those who depend on others for stimulation. The more time he spends in solitude, the sharper his focus becomes. People misunderstand this and think he's antisocial or detached. But the Sigma male values quality over quantity in every aspect of life, especially relationships. He doesn't collect acquaintances. He keeps a small circle built on trust and honesty. When he spends time with someone, it's because he wants to, not because he needs to. This independence intimidates some and fascinates others. Toxic people avoid him because they can't manipulate him through loneliness. Confident people respect him because they see peace where most find fear. The Sigma doesn't isolate himself to reject the world. He does it to understand it. His fulfillment doesn't depend on being surrounded by people. It comes from purpose. He can spend days in silence and feel more alive than someone constantly surrounded by noise. That's what separates him from the crowd. He's learned that the best company is found in stillness. The Sigma male doesn't fear solitude. He fears distraction. Because distraction, not loneliness, is what kills clarity. And that's something most people never figure out. Thing number 3. Belief that chasing approval builds confidence. Most people are raised to believe that the more approval they get, the more confident they'll feel. They think praise equals growth and validation equals self-worth. But the Sigma male knows that external approval is the fastest way to destroy real confidence. He learned early that people's opinions change with their emotions. One day they admire you, the next they criticize you. If your confidence depends on their reaction, you'll spend your life adjusting to please them. The Sigma male avoids that trap completely. He knows that confidence built on attention is fragile. It breaks the moment approval disappears. For him, confidence comes from alignment, living according to what he knows is right, not what others say is acceptable. He doesn't need applause to trust his choices. His validation comes from discipline, from the quiet satisfaction of doing what matters even when nobody's watching. That's why the Sigma male rarely seeks praise. It's not arrogance, it's self-containment. He knows that every time he acts for approval, he gives away a piece of his freedom. And freedom to him is worth more than being liked. People who chase validation never find stability. They're constantly scanning faces and reading reactions, trying to figure out if they measure up. The Sigma male has no interest in that performance. He understands that confidence isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in solitude, where you face failure without witnesses and still keep going. When people compliment him, he appreciates it, but it doesn't change him. When they criticize him, he listens, but it doesn't control him. That emotional steadiness makes him dangerous in the best way, immune to manipulation. Because once a man stops needing approval, no one can control him. The Sigma male's confidence is quiet, steady, and unshakable because it doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within, from knowing who he is, even when nobody else does. Thing number 4. Belief that being visible means you're winning. Modern society teaches people that success must be seen to be real. If it's not posted, shared, or broadcasted, it doesn't count. People live like performers, showing their highlights, hiding their struggles, and chasing visibility over depth. But the Sigma male sees this belief for what it is, insecurity disguised as ambition. He doesn't measure progress by visibility, he measures it by results. The Sigma male doesn't need to prove success to anyone. In fact, he prefers privacy because it protects his focus. He knows that the louder you are, the more distractions you attract, opinions, envy, pressure. That's why he stays quiet and lets his work speak when the time is right. To the Sigma, real progress happens in silence. It's the long hours of unseen effort, the consistency no one claps for, the dedication that doesn't fit into a social post. He's not hiding out of fear, he's building in peace. This mindset makes him unpredictable. While others compete for visibility, he grows without announcing it. When his results finally appear, people are shocked because they never saw the process. That's exactly how he wants it. Being visible often means being distracted. The Sigma male knows that constant exposure drains energy and invites chaos. So he moves quietly, choosing results over recognition every time. He understands that visibility is temporary, but mastery lasts forever. What society calls winning, attention, followers, praise, is meaningless to him. To the Sigma male, winning means waking up with purpose, working in silence, and going to sleep at peace. He doesn't need the world to see his journey to know it's real. In a culture obsessed with showing off, the Sigma male remains invisible, and that invisibility is his greatest power. Thing number 5. Belief that sacrificing your freedom is just part of adulthood. Society convinces people that growing up means giving up. You're told that adulthood requires settling for security, trading your dreams for stability, your time for money, your peace for approval. Most people accept this without question. But the Sigma male never does. He doesn't believe freedom is something you lose with age. He believes it's something you protect with discipline. While others rush into obligations that drain them, he moves carefully. He works hard, but he never forgets why he's working, to keep control over his time, choices, and peace of mind. This mindset often makes him look unconventional. He might skip promotions that come with strings attached, avoid commitments that limit him, or reject opportunities that compromise his principles. To the average person, that looks irresponsible. But to the Sigma, it's clarity. He knows that once freedom is gone, everything else loses meaning. The Sigma male doesn't fear responsibility. He just refuses to become trapped by it. He understands that most people confuse sacrifice with progress. They think giving up their independence is maturity. He knows it's submission. True maturity is learning how to build a life without surrendering control of it. He's not reckless. He plans with precision. His version of success allows space for choice, the ability to walk away when something no longer feels right. He would rather live simply and freely than luxuriously and controlled. This belief separates him from the crowd. Most people see freedom as something temporary, something they lose when real life begins. The Sigma male sees it as the foundation of real life itself. Everything else, work, relationships, achievement, only matters when it supports that foundation. That's why he often appears detached from society's race. He's not lazy, he's selective. He knows that the biggest mistake people make is mistaking stability for peace. Stability without freedom is a cage, and the Sigma male refuses to live in one. Thing number 6. Belief that emotional control means shutting feelings off. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about emotional control is that it means feeling nothing. Society teaches men especially that strength equals emotional silence, that showing pain or fear makes you weak. Most people internalize this belief without realizing it, turning emotional control into emotional suppression. But the Sigma male knows the difference. He understands that shutting feelings off doesn't make you strong, it makes you numb. Real strength comes from being aware of your emotions, not ruled by them. The Sigma male feels everything deeply: anger, sadness, loneliness, even love, but he filters those emotions through logic. He lets himself experience them fully, but he doesn't let them decide his actions. That's what emotional mastery truly is: control, not denial. The Sigma male doesn't hide from emotion, he studies it. When something upsets him, he doesn't explode. He observes his reaction, asks why it happened, and learns from it. His calmness isn't emptiness, it's understanding. Most people mistake his quiet for coldness because they expect emotions to be visible. They think someone who doesn't react loudly must not care. But the Sigma male's calm isn't lack of care, it's the ability to protect energy. He knows that emotional chaos solves nothing. Staying composed allows him to stay clear-headed when others lose control. This emotional discipline makes him reliable, stable, and unshakable. But it also isolates him. Few people understand how much emotion lies beneath his control. They assume he's detached when, in reality, he's carrying his feelings with precision. He processes emotion internally, in private, because he knows that sharing it with the wrong people leads to misunderstanding. The Sigma male doesn't reject emotion, he respects it. He knows it's part of being human, but he refuses to let it steer his life. That's what separates him from the crowd. He doesn't run from feelings or drown in them. He stands still in the middle of the storm and watches it pass. True emotional control isn't silence, it's balance. And that balance is something the Sigma male lives by every day. The Sigma male's greatest strength is not that he thinks differently. It's that he questions what everyone else accepts without thought. The world is full of people moving on autopilot, believing whatever makes them feel secure. But the Sigma lives by awareness. He doesn't accept an idea because it's popular or comfortable. He tests it against his experience and values, and if it doesn't fit, he lets it go. That's why he seems detached from society, not because he rejects it completely, but because he sees through it. He sees how people confuse attention for success, connection for happiness, control for love, and emotion for weakness. He doesn't mock them for it, he just refuses to live by it. To the Sigma male, life is about clarity. He wants to understand, not follow. To act consciously, not react emotionally. To stand alone if it means standing in truth. He knows that freedom begins in the mind, in the ability to see what others overlook and question what others obey. Every belief he rejects brings him closer to authenticity. Every illusion he sees through gives him more peace. He doesn't fight against the world. He simply walks beside it, quietly doing what most people are too afraid to do: think for himself. And that's why the Sigma male's life, though quieter, feels fuller. He doesn't waste time chasing illusions. He builds reality on his own terms. Most people believe what they're told because questioning takes courage. It's easier to follow the crowd than to stand apart. It's easier to be accepted for pretending than to be doubted for being real. The Sigma male understands this and accepts the cost of his path. He lives differently because he values truth more than comfort. Every belief he rejects separates him from the crowd, but it also brings him closer to peace. He knows that understanding is not found in popularity, attention, or conformity. It's found in awareness, discipline, and solitude. The Sigma male doesn't want to change how others live. He simply refuses to live blindly. And that refusal, calm, steady, and unshakable, is what makes him different. At the end of the day, the Sigma male's strength doesn't come from isolation. It comes from independence of thought, the ability to see clearly in a world that prefers shadows. He doesn't follow trends and he doesn't rebel for attention. He just watches, learns and walks forward alone, aware, focused and free. That's the quiet truth of the Sigma male. He doesn't believe what everyone else does because he's not looking to fit in. He's looking to understand. And that, more than anything, is what sets him apart.